you ever wondered why some people seem to accomplish so much, while others struggle to get through the day? What if I told you there's one thing, just one thing that could completely transform your productivity, focus, and success? Intrigued? Then you're in the right place. Because today we're diving into The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan, a book that's been called a game changer for anyone looking to cut through the chaos and achieve extraordinary results. Now, before we dive in, let's get a little interactive. What's one thing you've been putting off that, could make a huge difference in your life? Maybe it's a fitness goal, a career move, or even spending more time with family. Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what your one thing is. Let's start with some background on the authors and why this book has resonated with millions around the world. Gary Keller is the co-founder of Keller Williams Realty, one of the largest real estate companies globally. Jay Papasan, a best-selling author, partnered with Keller to write this book, which was first published in 2013. Together, they distilled decades of experience into a simple, yet profound idea. Success comes from focusing on what matters most. So what exactly is this one thing? It's the single most important task that, when done, makes everything else easier or unnecessary. Sounds simple, right? But here's the thing in our modern world of endless to-do lists, notifications and distractions, identifying and sticking to that. One thing is anything but easy, and that's why this book is so powerful. It provides a roadmap for cutting through the noise and getting crystal clear on your priorities. Let's break it down, starting with the core message, the power of focus. Keller and Papasan argue that multitasking is a myth. Yep, you heard that right. While you might think you're being productive by juggling multiple tasks, the truth is, you're actually diluting your attention and energy. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly immersed in one task? Let me know in the comments if you've ever tried single tasking and how it went. One of the book's standout features is the focusing question. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Let's pause here for a moment. This isn't just a question, it's a mindset shift. It's about narrowing your focus to the task that has the biggest impact. For me, the first time I asked myself this question, it was like a light bulb went off. I realized I had been spreading myself too thin and needed to zero in on what truly mattered. The authors also introduced the concept of the domino effect. Picture a line of dominoes. When you knock over the first one, it creates a chain reaction. That's how your actions work when you identify your one thing. Small, consistent actions compound over time to produce extraordinary results. What's one domino you could knock over today that would set off a chain reaction in your life? Share it below. Your insight might inspire someone else. Now let's get into the meat of the book, the lies that derail our focus. Keller and Papasan identify 6 lies that we often tell ourselves. Everything matters equally. Multitasking works. Discipline is all you need. Willpower is always on will call. A balanced life is possible. Big is bad. Let's unpack a couple of these. First, the idea that everything matters equally. The truth is, not all tasks are created equal. Some have a disproportionate impact on your success. This is where the 80-20 rule comes into play. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. So the key is to focus on that vital few and ignore the trivial many. How does this idea resonate with you? Have you noticed this pattern in your own life? Next, let's talk about willpower. The book debunks the myth that willpower is an unlimited resource. Instead, it's like a battery that drains throughout the day. That's why it's crucial to tackle your most important task, your one thing, when your willpower is at its peak, usually in the morning. When do you feel most energized and focused? Drop your answer in the comments. It's fascinating to see how this varies for everyone. Another key takeaway is the importance of habit formation. The authors emphasize that success isn't about doing everything right all the time. It's about creating habits that support your goals. They highlight research showing that it takes, on average, 66 days to form a new habit. So if you're looking to build momentum, start small and be consistent. What's one habit you'd like to develop in the next 66 days? Let us know in the comments. Maybe we can all hold each other accountable. One of the most eye-opening parts of the book for me was the discussion on saying no. Keller and Papasan argue that to stay focused on your one thing, you have to get comfortable with saying no to everything else. This might mean declining invitations, delegating tasks, or even stepping away from opportunities that don't align with your priorities. It's tough, but it's necessary. Have you ever struggled with saying no? How did it impact your focus and productivity? Let's shift gears and talk about the book's impact. Since its release, The One Thing has sold millions of copies and been translated into over 30 languages. Why has it resonated with so many people? Because it's not just a book, it's a movement. It's helped entrepreneurs scale businesses, students ace exams, and even families strengthen their relationships. Its universal appeal lies in its simplicity, the idea that anyone can achieve extraordinary results by focusing on what matters most. Now, I want to share a personal story to bring this concept to life. When I first read The One Thing, I was juggling multiple projects and feeling overwhelmed. I decided to put the book's principles into practice and focus on just one project that had the potential to make the biggest impact. The result? Not only did I complete the project ahead of schedule, but it also opened doors to new opportunities I hadn't even considered. That's the power of focus. But it's not just me. The principles of this book have been embraced by leaders and visionaries across industries. From CEOs who've restructured their entire companies to align with a single vision, to teachers who've applied it to transform their classrooms. The lessons in The One Thing are universally applicable. What's even more powerful is how relatable it is. You don't have to be a high-powered executive to benefit. Even in daily life, focusing on the right thing can make an extraordinary difference. One of the book's most memorable chapters discusses time blocking. This technique involves setting aside dedicated, uninterrupted time to work on your one thing. Think of it as putting a giant Do Not Disturb sign on your calendar. It's not just about making time, it's about protecting it. Another fascinating concept is that of accountability. The authors stress the importance of having someone to hold you accountable for your goals, whether it's a mentor, a coach, or even a friend. Having someone who regularly checks in can make all the difference. Who in your life could be your accountability partner? Or maybe you could be that person for someone else? Before we wrap up, let's talk about some actionable takeaways from the book. First, identify your one thing. Ask yourself the focusing question every day. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Second, time block for your one thing. Dedicate a specific time each day to work on your most important task. Treat it like an unbreakable appointment. Third, embrace the domino effect. Start small and let your actions build momentum over time. Fourth, protect your focus. Learn to say no and eliminate distractions. Fifth, build habits that align with your goals. Remember, consistency is more important than perfection. Finally, find an accountability partner. Share your goals with someone who will encourage you to stay on a track and celebrate your progress. Now, here's my challenge to you. If this video inspired you, share it with one person who could benefit from the ideas in The One Thing. Let's spread the message and help more people achieve extraordinary results. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth book reviews and productivity tips. Your support means the world to me. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into The One Thing. Remember, success doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing the right thing. So go out there, find your one thing, and make it happen. I'll see you in the next video. Stay focused and keep striving for greatness.